Right, my name is Eddy Njoroge. I am the president of the International Organization for Standardization, popularly known as ISO, and this is my second year as the president. I'm also a board member of the local national standards body, KEBS. My experience as ISO president has had mixed feelings. In other words, I have had some very good things and some bad things, and because of the restrictions as far as COVID is concerned. One of the things that I feel strongly that I've not been able to do, for instance, is to visit the members of the ISO, that's the national standards bodies, especially more from the developing countries who I had hoped to be able to visit so that I can be able to experience what they are doing and what challenges they have. Previously, there was ISO strategy, which was 2016 to 2022. And we now have devised a new ISO strategy, 2030. And this, in a way, is really, as I said, one of our biggest achievements, because there was a lot of collaboration in terms of developing this standard. All the NSBs were involved in the development. And we have come up with a strategy which we feel that can be able to address not just today, but up to about 2030. The strategy is anchored on three pillars. The first pillar is strategies, ISO standards used everywhere. And the second pillar is responding to global needs. And the third pillar is all voices heard. And the whole vision itself, the vision statement is making lives easier, safer, and better. So that's what we intend to see by 2030 if we implement this strategy. Every pillar has got two priority areas, and then the focus areas that we'll be focusing on each of those priority areas. And we have a rolling implementation plan and a measurement framework, which we have just approved now. So it's a very elaborate strategy, and we are sure that it will be able to guide ISO into up to 2030. When COVID-19 came out, one of the things that we did is we made standards accessible to all the members freely, which was a big move. And we also helped in terms of developing standards at a much faster rate. So that's the sort of response that we would be looking at. One of them is the ISO strategy 2030, which is quite notable. That's quite a major achievement that we have. We also have a few other things that we have approved. For instance, we have a new regional engagement policy that we have approved as ISO. And this will inform in terms of having a dedicated resource within the secretariat, which will be dealing with particular regions. So you can imagine, like Africa and the Middle East, having somebody who specifically looks at that. We look at the Asias, we look at the Americas, and we look at the Europe. And so that's a regional engagement policy which we have adopted, which is good. The other achievement that we have is, for instance, moving towards machine-readable standards. As I said, we had a workshop yesterday which was looking at the next steps as far as that is concerned. And it's not just for developed countries. We are looking at that also for developing countries. We also have, as I said, new council members from various countries who have joined, and achievements always measured in context. And this has been a difficult time for us with COVID-19, but we feel that we have still achieved quite a lot in the 2 years. This is a virtual meeting, Dr. Sabi. What I wish I knew is that COVID was coming, obviously. It would It would have been different. Maybe I would have planned it slightly differently. But yeah, I'm happy about the experience. I've experienced quite a bit through this time. And I think the members themselves are the ones who will judge how successful we have been. This is the first time, obviously, there was a president from developing countries, and specifically also from Africa. We have never had an ISO president from Africa. And I'm pleased to note that by the time I leave office, we already have 2 council members from Africa, we have somebody from Zimbabwe, and we also have somebody from South Africa. So in a way, I feel that we have been able to get members from developing countries to feel that they can participate, they can be on the table as issues are discussed about ISO and about moving this organization forward. After my term, ISO is opening up to maybe other regions. It's just to feel that, yes, because we have had an African who has been the president of ISO, anybody else can be president of ISO. And we are hoping that we will have more people from developing countries, not just from developed countries. As I said, one of the pillars of our strategy is all voices heard. And that's what I would want to see in ISO as we go forward, that there will be a lot more participation of even the people from developing countries. My successor is from Sweden. She has been nominated, she has been elected. She is now president-elect for this year. And my hope is that she will engage the membership a lot more. She will be able to meet with the members more than I did, especially members from developing countries.